How you doing? I'm Mr. Yoon, English 11, and welcome to Back to School Night. I know this is a very unusual format, but that's kind of par for course for this year. Everything's a little unusual, and I wanted to just go over some of the basic elements of the class here. This is my classroom, and this is actually what students see every morning. I'm standing right here every morning. As a matter of fact, if they were actually physically here in the class, this is what they would see. I'd be standing pretty much in the same place. And so I wanted to, this is pretty much where I'm at every single class session. And I wanted to take you through kind of what I do with the students here as I speak with them, and then I go to share a screen. So I'm going to actually do that right now. I'm going to share a screen, and hopefully I don't have any kind of technological issues like we often do. Here we go. All right, English 11. This is a little bit about me. This is my 22nd year teaching high school English. I have been a teacher at 3 different districts. I've been in the Hart District for about 13 years, at West Ranch for about 13 years. A great district, great school. I have taught English 11, and ERWC is actually, I've taught English 11 for most of my time here. ERWC is a new course for me that I'm teaching this year. But let me talk a little bit about this class, English 11. One of the things that we're going to be doing every morning is instructing students to go to Google Classroom, where they will find all the links and the agenda for the day, as well as all of their class assignments that they can find organized under classwork. So you can find the Zoom links. We'll be also using, obviously, Zoom. And Turnitin.com. Turnitin is an application that we use for students to submit online written work to ensure that their work is original. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. English 11 is a full year college preparatory English course for high school juniors. It is 2 semesters. Most of the students that I have right now will carry over with me in the 2nd semester. Some of those students will be transferred to a different teacher, given schedule issues and so forth. The goal of English 11 is to prepare students effectively for the rigorous levels of both reading and writing at the college level. And so we are really, it is a college preparatory course. And so we are preparing them for success at the college level in English. Things that we cover are researching, reading, and analyzing informational, expository, and persuasive texts. We also read, analyze, and understand literature through critical reading and rhetorical analysis. And so what we are helping students to do is to really learn to read both informational, expository, persuasive texts, literature, critically, to really extract the meaning and the understanding, not only of the content of what is being said and what this text might be about, but how or why the author is effectively communicating them. And so that is in the area of rhetorical and literary analysis that we focus on a great deal in this class. I want to go on to talk about student expectations. This is one of the kind of different areas that we've had to emphasize this year given our online distance learning format. Obviously, it's a challenge for students, it's a challenge for teachers, but the district has given us a number of expectations that we have shared with students. And the first one is that students need to be in class online on time. They need to be distraction free. They need to not have their phones on or other tabs opened up. And they will be required to have their camera on at all times. And this is kind of an issue with students. It might be technological, but other times students simply feel given the freedom that they have in their home, they might just get up and go grab a snack and come back. And so one of the things that we're asking students is you need to be in front of your camera at all times. If you need to go to the restroom, then just like you would in an ordinary classroom, ask for permission. We have a little chat box that I have opened up at all times, and they can privately text me there and ask, if they can go grab something or do something or go to the restroom. And so, it was a little bit of a challenge the first week or so, but students are getting a lot better accustomed to the environment that we're in. We also ask that they participate. Let me go to this slide here. One of the things that we ask students to do is to be school appropriate. And that means that they be dressed appropriately. The first day of class, we had some students that showed up lying in bed without a shirt on, guy students. And one of the things that we're telling them is, listen, you have to be appropriate as you would be not only for the course, but for the class as well. You wouldn't show up physically in our class without a shirt on. Neither would you be kind of like laying down in your desk or reclining. And so I often tell students, look, I'm not asking you to sit in a hard wooden chair, but at least to be sitting up, okay, and to have a shirt on. I mean, I may not know what you're wearing, beneath your waist, but at least for the sake of the class and the course, you need to be school appropriate. Not only in your appearance, but also in your mannerism and how you communicate via the chat window and so forth, and unmuting your mic and participating in that way as well. Academic integrity is a very important issue with the online format, obviously, because there's a lot of ways for students to just simply share and help each other online by texting answers to each other if we're doing assessments or we're doing any kind of formal assessments in class. That's a big challenge for a lot of teachers. One of our concerns going to online regularly as a format. For English classes, one of the benefits that we have is that we could use applications like Turnitin, where students, they do have to submit their work to Turnitin, which basically determines whether or not their work is original, if it's been copied online from some internet source, or if it's from similar to another student that's submitting it, whether it's at this school or somewhere in different parts of the world. Turnitin can help us with that. So that's been a very valuable tool for us with online learning. We during the course of our Zoom meetings, we're asking students to participate. So as a group, as a whole class, oftentimes I'll call upon students just like I would in a regular class. I'll ask them, a question, and they will participate in a larger format. They will participate in small group breakout rooms where we break them out to Zoom meetings, and in small groups of about 4 to 5 students. They'll share with each other. I will pop in regularly in those Zoom meetings and just to ask questions or check how they're doing. So there's group participation, there's whole class participation, but there's also independent work. And so independent work is where they will at times in a Zoom meeting work as asynchronously. In other words, they're working on their own for about 10 minutes at a time. Maybe they're doing a journal response. Maybe they're answering some questions on their own while remaining on the Zoom call with the camera on in front of them. But there will also be independent work after class where they're doing homework. For example, there might be an assignment that we begin in class that they complete afterwards. That would be independent work outside of class. So because of the work that we're doing in class, outside of class, one of the things that we're really expecting of students and parents really is to have reliable online access. Now that might be having a Chromebook. We generally are discouraging students from just using a phone or an iPad because it inhibits their ability to participate in discussions, especially when they're doing independent work. If they're doing independent work, then the camera basically turns off. And that's one of the requirements of the Heart District, that their camera be on them while they're doing their work. And I really can't tell when they're writing. I don't know if they're actually writing something or if they may be off, doing something for the next 10 minutes, because it would never be, I could never see that if they're using a phone or an iPad. That's why we're strongly encouraging students to use Chromebooks or a laptop or a home computer, and to have reliable internet access. Obviously, we have students who have, siblings who are also working online, and it creates a problem with some homes who may not have as reliable internet access. If that is the case, feel free to contact the district. Please contact the district or contact our school. Ben Wolbrook is the assistant principal at our school, who's able to provide Wi-Fi hotspots or a Chromebook in order to ensure students have reliable online access to help them throughout the semester. And I know in the first couple of weeks, we're kind of hammering out these issues. Some students have, maybe they may have a computer at home or a laptop, but their camera's not working. And so they're trying to figure out how to do that with their parents. But these are expectations given our circumstances and our online distance learning that we are asking students to address earlier on so that we can move forward smoothly throughout the semester. Let's see. Let's talk about our late work policy. This is kind of an important policy. This is actually mine. Late work assignments, because I post everything via Google Classroom, there is a daily agenda. Students should have no question or confusion about what's expected of them every day, what's expected of them by next class in terms of homework. Because I post everything online in the Google Classroom stream under the classwork section, they're always able to find whatever they need. There should never be a question about what do we do in class, where do I find the work for that or the links. Everything is provided for them on the Google Classroom stream. So they are always able to know and to be aware of what's being done or what is expected of them. For that reason, assignments are considered late anytime after the due date. And so late assignments can be turned in for evaluative credit, but they're not given points if it's late. The only exceptions would be on a case-to-case basis if they have an excused absence or if they've talked with me about something, a personal issue going on at home. And even though I have this very strict policy, I've kind of not enforced it for the first couple weeks, obviously, because there's a lot of issues that students need to work out in terms of doing stuff online. But by at least the first progress report, the 5th week, at that point, I will start to enforce the late work policy with no points for anything turned in late. Grading, students' grades are calculated using a traditional point system. There's no weighting. Every assignment has a point value, might be anywhere from 5 to 10 points. And it's the responsibility of students to keep a careful account of their grade. Everything's recorded on Google Classroom, all their assignments, but the final grade or the official class grade can always be found on Infinite Campus. And as parents, you should be able to access that. You should be able to access their Google Classroom account. If you do not have parental rights to see the assignments and their progress in Google Classroom, you could send me an email and I will add you on as a parent or a guardian, and you will be able to get a weekly report to see what they're doing, what's being done in class, and how well they're doing. So I know that's a whole lot of information that I was giving out here in this video. You can obviously go back and watch it again, or if you wanted to, you can contact me. You can email me. I'm at pu@heartdistrict.org. We can set up a Zoom conference call where we can do a face-to-face conference call, or we can use a more traditional method like a phone call, conference call conversation. So hopefully that answers a lot of questions about this class and the expectations for this coming semester. Again, feel free to contact me in any of those ways available. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the night and the evening. Thanks for stopping by, and hopefully we'll be able to see you guys at open house in the second semester, spring semester. All right, thanks, you guys.